those little tiny bits of encouragement and opportunities from other women is what got me into what I do today, which is being a professional speaker and MC. And I think the lesson there is find the small moments that you can hand the flashlight to someone else, that you can put the spotlight on someone else, that you could hand your candle to someone else. Just a little brief moment. It doesn't always have to be about you.
Overwhelm, reaction mode, and just keeping up are the old way.
You need real, root-level strategies and practical steps to grow your business or ministry without exhaustion and burnout.
Hi there, we're Anna Saucier
And Megan Gephardt,
best friends and business consultants who help faith-filled women create sustainable growth through simple strategy with a people-first approach.
Here at Apostolic Fruit, we hope to offer you clarity, support, accompaniment, and healing.
One tiny step at a time. Hello and welcome back to the Apostolic Fruit podcast. I'm Anna Saucier, and I'm so thrilled to have a special guest here today. The only guest we've had on our podcast who I've got to hug in person, Liv Harrison. Hi.
Hi. Hello. How are you?
Doing great. Thank you. I'm so honored for you to join us.
Yay. I know. And we did just hug.
Just.
So, I mean, I can still feel it. That's quite a hug.
Yes.
You're a good hugger. You really are.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I've heard that before. Yes. Yeah, this is super fun, and I'm very, very honored. I want to share with our listeners your official bio, so let's just learn who Liv is. Liv Harrison is best known for sharing her gifts of humor and storytelling as a professional speaker and MC. She thrives on bringing people together over common interests. In May of 2019, Liv successfully created and launched the Genius Catholic Women's Conference. It was produced again in March 2020. When not emceeing a conference or serving with the Junior League of the Woodlands, Liv can be found interviewing guests for her new show, Catholic Carpool, on Catholic TV in Boston. The show will launch in 2025. Liv has been both a guest and host on SiriusXM, the host of a daily morning show distributed on Amazon Alexa devices called Liv Every Day, and you can discover her other creative endeavors. Talk to Me with Liv Harrison, a storytelling interview podcast, or It's Not That Late with Liv Harrison. Think like the late night show, talk show, or on your favorite podcast app or YouTube. Currently, Liv is the new host of Catholic Carpool on Catholic TV, and audiences are introduced to well-known Catholics through that show, from bishops to astronauts, from the back of Liv's car as they laugh their way to their destination. She's married to the love of her life, who I got to meet. Nathan is amazing, and a high school sweetheart, and she's the mother of two fantastic humans. When not on a plane traveling, Liv can be found at home with her adorable puppies, Jack, Rose, and Harvey. I met them as well. At the end of the show, we'll make sure you know how to connect with Liv. But Liv, with all of that, who are you really? The human Liv. You have done so much and served in so many places. What do you want people to know about you personally?
I don't know. That was pretty good, except I hear where I need to edit it. I'm like, oh, okay. No,
good. Well,
I need to check it every now and then. You know, I'm a loud, really excitable person who just really loves people. I kind of identify as a golden doodle. I think if we believed in that, which we don't as Catholics, I would come back as a golden doodle. But I'm just trying to make it to heaven. So, I mean, honestly, that has a lot to do with me, but I'm just me. I'm just a really big, silly nerd. I love Star Wars and Marvel. I love movies. I have 3 brothers. So I got into all that kind of stuff. I used to love a good cigar and old fashioned, but I've put those things away. So currently I am not drinking or partaking in a cigar. So maturation is a thing. But yeah, I mean, I'm pretty basic. I just like to be with people. That is my favorite thing on the planet, Anna. That's it. Bottom line.
Mm-hmm. I feel that. And it's so palpable. It's so palpable virtually like this, but especially in person. And you are just you. I think that's the best way to describe it. And it stands out because so many of us have learned to wear masks and to be something that we're not in order to fit in order to be a part of, especially as women, a part of the business world. So, and I think that's part of what we want to talk about today is how to just be more as women of who we are. And with the way that you are comes out so much in your, like you say, the way that you love people comes out so much in the encouragement, in the hospitality. And I experienced that so deeply firsthand. And you've really embodied the feminine genius in those ways. And when you speak or when you MC, that is such an incredible gift to all the humans that you're in front of.
Thank you. Well, here's the thing. I have the gift of passion. I don't even know if that's a real gift, but I say that I have that. Everything that I come at is with this level of passion. But here's where it's a problem, Anna, because mac and cheese is just as exciting to me as getting on a stage with 500 people. They all are equal. So, I'm this overly passionate human on whether it's small or big, but that's why I'm a really good hype girl. Like, that's why if you just brushed your teeth and you want someone to cheer about that, you call me and I'll be like, what? That's amazing. Or if you just win the lottery, it's going to sound the same. You're not going to know the difference between the two. So that's just the way that God decided that we should all experience this soul for whatever reason. My mom likes to say that I was born with a smile on my face. So definitely, all jokes aside, it's the gift of joy. And when you have something that is from God, of God, which we all have, you can't explain why or how, when it truly is a gift and a talent. And it's something that God has gifted to you to have while you're on this journey on this planet. It's just yours to say yes and to get out of the way and let Him use that gift that He put inside of you for the glory of God, for His kingdom. Period. That's it. It's not about you. So, yeah, I just get excited about everything.
I love it. And we, as women, if we want to focus on, we want to talk about women supporting women in this conversation and how vital and also just how missing it is in many places and also what it means. This comes to you very naturally in your gift of encouragement and passion, and whether it's toothbrushing or a retreat. You were so encouraging when we were advertising our retreat and just about all of the work that we've done at Apostolic Fruit. But how can we learn from you in that? And I have a two-part question here. I know this comes naturally to you. Have you received support from other women that has been very meaningful to you in your work? We'll start with that one.
Okay. Yeah, it's really funny. I work predominantly in the Catholic sphere, but the first huge lesson I got from other women was actually from the volunteer group that was mentioned in my bio, the Junior League. And I'm in the chapter that's in the Woodlands. They're the last people on the planet that A, I would have thought, B, anyone on the planet would have thought would be the encouraging women in my life. I didn't have sisters. I have this mom who is so crazy talented that it's not her fault, but you're just sitting there like, wait, what? Like she's just like the ultimate Instagram feed of perfection and you can't help but compare. So I didn't really have women in my life that were just kind of on the same level, if that makes sense, or would come down to my level and bring me up. My mom would encourage me to get on stages, but it was really this group of women that wasn't my mother, that wasn't, they didn't have to love me. It was these strangers that they started saying, hey, you're really good in front of a group of people. You know what? You get everybody really excited because you get so excited. Everybody gets so excited. You know what? We have this thing coming up next Thursday. Could you get on the microphone and tell everybody about it and just say it the way that you say it? Those little tiny bits of encouragement and opportunities from other women is what got me into what I do today, which is being a professional speaker and MC. And I think the lesson there is find the small moments that you can hand the flashlight to someone else, that you can put the spotlight on someone else, that you could hand your candle to someone else. Just a little brief moment. It doesn't always have to be about you. And if you can see someone else's gift and talent, and that they could, wow, you know what, Anna, you're really good at cooking this meal or whatever, and we're having this big group together. Would you mind doing that for everybody? And you're like, oh, I would love to do that. If it's something that brings you joy and something that gives you life. And I think that that's the difference in watching people light up. If you asked me to cook something for everybody, I probably would not light up. But other people, they do. And that's what's so beautiful about knowing what our gifts and talents are and seeing that in other women. One thing about women is that they do light up. Their eyes do change. So when you're watching your girlfriends, your sisters, your sister-in-laws, your daughters, your neighbors, whoever they are, notice the light in her eyes. And when you see that change, hone in on it and be like, this is an opportunity for me to give. This is an opportunity for me to give to her something that I just saw. I saw a spark in her. And you know what? I'm going to create this little opportunity and let her take the stage. Whatever that is, whether it's background, foreground, we all take the stage in different ways. Mine's just really obvious because it's just loud.
I love this practical approach. And it reminds me of the phrase that we used a lot on retreat is I'm noticing, where we
Yeah.
can be present to just noticing what's going on with other people. We can see those light moments. I'm noticing you really lit up with that, like you say. Or even I'm thinking in a business or social media sense where we tend to be more, and I want to talk about the blocks to this kind of collaboration and encouragement, where we tend to be more standoff or competitive, but to say, hey, I'm noticing that in that reel you did, like you were super excited in a way that I haven't seen before.
Yeah, I
Right?
mean, that's the thing. People are, and especially women, we can't be all the things all the time. So we're going to drop our guard. We're going to take a moment where we just put our hair in a messy bun, dump some chicken nuggets on a tray, and call it a day. That's what's so great about women is that they can go in and out of these very formal moments and these very real moments. And I think now that we are so connected on the internet, it's really easy to just see the highlights. If we could take that concept and notice the highlights in the everyday, when you're actually with a real life person, when you're with a girlfriend, a friend of yours, someone in your family, notice what their Instagram highlights would be in the everyday. I think that would be fantastic. And part of that, Anna, is like what we just did, what you guys just did with having the retreat and what you just did coming to my house. We did an in-person activity. That's like crazy now. Like you invited all these women to Guatemala and they said yes. And then I invited you guys to Texas and you said yes. And from those moments is where you can start to build up community and build up one another. But we've got to do the first step, which is go back to being with each other in real life.
Mm. Yeah, you said something that really struck me, and that we can go in and out of these moments. And I think this is it seems like a really basic, obvious thing, but especially as women and the way that our cycles work, like we're meant to go in and out of energy and up and down and be external and then inward. And that's natural for us to go in and out of these. But I see a common belief that we should be the same all the time. Right. If I'm going to be out, if I'm going to be a leader, like I'm a leader all the time. And what does that mean? No chicken nuggets, all healthy food, whatever those,
Right.
whatever those rules we have, but to come back and remember that it really is important to renormalize together. And I think this is where the importance of these in-person events, these connections come in, where I can be in my pajamas in your living room and we can all remind each other that life is normal, that
Yeah.
we can go out and be external, and then we come in and we fall apart when we mess up, and right, all these.
Absolutely. And I think looking to the Bible, I mean, as ridiculous as that might sound, right? Because that was written a billion years ago, as far as we're concerned, right? About people that aren't here anymore. But you look at Jesus and you see the simple moments, like the time that he makes a little charcoal fire and he cooks breakfast when he's telling the apostles to come and eat. or when he makes the water into wine, when you see Mary go and visit her cousin because she's pregnant and she wants to share that news. There's these beautiful, normal little moments. And then you see Mary crying. Her son has died. Or you see Jesus is crying because his friend Lazarus died. Like you see them do these very human things. And yet then we say, because the enemy wants to take away our humanity. And the second he can do that, then he can work on our souls. And we were made in the image and likeness of God in every possible way. And we have this perfect example because Jesus was completely human, completely God. He's both. He's very special, in case you don't know that. And we're made in his image and likeness. But we want to fight our humanity, which is what makes him so relatable to begin with. And we have an entire book on all those things that he did as a human. And it's like, why do we deprive ourselves of the beauty of humanity, of community, which is what he did? First thing he did was he rounded up a bunch of guys, smelly guys, not that smart fishermen, and he hung out with them. And who are we to say that we're above that? We're above what Christ did. He shows us that we need community. He shows us that we need emotion. He shows us that you go to a wedding and then you go fishing. I mean, yeah, he did all the things. He did all the things. So I think it's just another way that the enemy attacks and again takes us at our weakness, which our humanity, because we are fallen and because we need a savior. Christ didn't need a savior. We need a savior because we've fallen. We have weakness, and the enemy's really smart at knowing what gets us, and that's why we constantly hear these things in our head, especially as women. Oh, you're not enough, or oh, you're too much, or he says a billion things all day.
Yeah. Yeah. The tension, the constriction, the competition. I'm not doing
Right.
enough or I'm not doing it right. Yep. All of these
Correct.
ways.
So we
Yeah.
build these masks. We go into
Yeah.
protection mode. We're like little turtles. And that makes sense. And that's okay. Protecting yourself is okay. Being safe is good. There's nothing wrong with being safe. But when you then don't allow the beauty of your soul, of the gifts and talents that you have been given by the creator of the universe, when you get in the way of that, that's when it's a problem. So feel safe. Don't misunderstand. Feel safe, be protected. But listen, have a carpet moment, have a come to Jesus. Are you holding back? Are you being too protective because of insecurity, because of imposter syndrome, because of God, there's 1,000 words. Not feeling worthy, not having a strong self-esteem, not feeling beautiful, not feeling feminine, whatever it is. But know that that's not of God when you have those moments, when you have those masks that are made out of iron, that are just so you can't even like penetrate them. That's a concern.
Mhm. Yep. Yep. And I think that's just another place where we get to, like we talked about, noticing with other people. All of that starts within ourselves because, okay, I'm noticing that I'm doing this. I'm noticing that I'm struggling with imposter syndrome. I'm noticing this. And I tell people all the time, like, that's the first place where we start to objectify what the enemy or whatever masks I have as I'm not that. I'm experiencing that, and we could just make some space in
Yeah,
noticing that,
absolutely.
just like we notice other people's gifts.
Absolutely.
And then the more we do it with ourselves, the more we're able to do it with others.
Yeah, you're absolutely correct. Naming it, saying it out loud, writing it down, make it tangible. Christ came, we say he's the word made flesh. Think about what that means. That means the word, like what's coming out of your mouth right now, all of a sudden is now flesh. That's what Jesus is. So being tangible about our own words, what we say, what we think, those become flesh. That's our thoughts. They hurt us. They can scar us. And as women, doing that to other women is not okay. But you're right. It starts with self. And if your self hears you saying things like, you're stupid, you're ugly, you're fat, you're dumb, you're not that great of a mom, you're a terrible wife, you're just a wife, you're just a mom, you can't run a business. All the lies that we hear all the time, the opposite of that is speak the truth. And that's the other side. And the other question that you asked about how do we do this? You speak truth. And when you see someone, speak truth to them. And then it actually kind of gets easier. I think, I don't know, Anna, like maybe even say, like sometimes it's a lot easier to say things about another person than it is about yourself. But the more you get into the, like any other muscle, any other practice, the more you start saying these positive things. If I start finding one thing that I can say positive about you, even if it starts shallow, like, I really like how white your teeth are. I really like your glasses. You know what I mean? Like, start shallow. That's okay. It's baby steps. And then grow and go into deeper things. I think that's also a way to start encouraging and empowering each other.
Yeah, absolutely. And it takes courage. I want to recognize that those shifts take a lot of courage. And that leads me to think about how you've been talking a lot about live fearlessly in your message of live fearlessly. And I'd love for you to share what that means to you as we close up our conversation already.
Yeah. Well, live fearlessly basically is the whole concept is fear isn't going anywhere. It's here to stay. It's like taxes and death. We're all going to experience taxes and death, and we're all going to experience fear. And so instead of fighting it, lean into it, bring it with you. And how can you take fear and do something with it to make it powerful, to give it actual like lungs, to change and to go for the glory of God? So, for instance, looking at a stranger and just saying, "Oh my gosh, your hair is so cute." That takes courage. And again, when you start building up, and that's what virtue is a habit, a good habit that you're going over and over and over and over and over again. And it becomes easier, just like anything else. Taking hold of your fear and bringing it with you into the everyday, doing things that you thought that you couldn't. And again, start small. Don't go jumping off of rooftops or anything. Well, Liv said to live fearlessly. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about basic human, live fearlessly in your everyday. Invite a girlfriend over for coffee. If you don't drink coffee, tea, you don't drink tea, water. Hopefully you drink that. And you know what? Beat the urge to mop every corner of your house and make it sparkle and look like Christmas morning. Just say, come over, come as you are, and I'm going to be just like I am too. You know what I mean? Like that's fearless. That to just be, to live in these moments and to live in your humanity. That's what I mean by live fearlessly. Don't let the fear stop you from the things that you deserve, like human connection, human relationship, human emotion. Don't let it get in the way. That's what that means.
Amen. And thank you for your message. What my takeaways, I just want to review from our conversation here, is looking and noticing the things in others that we can encourage and that we can compliment, and then practicing with ourselves as well. Support one another like Jesus did in the big things and in the small things, and be human like him, and then leaning into fear and doing something with it, not letting it stop you.
Absolutely. I love it. That was good. You did great. Look at you.
Oh.
Gold star.
Notes.
Crushed it. That was awesome. Ah.
For our apostolic fruit listeners, Liv, where's the best place to connect with you?
I'm most active on Instagram. I have a website, thelivharrison.com, and my Instagram is thelivharrison, THE. Liv is LIV, short for Olivia. So the Liv Harrison, you can just put that in Google and hopefully it's just me that pops up. So there you go. But come hang out with me. Let's be friends. Come over and look at my dirty corners and call it a day.
Thank you for your passion, your encouragement, your aliveness, and teaching us to shift into just living not from fear, but above it, through it, beyond it, leaning into it. Thank you for all the work that you do.
Thank you, friend. You're awesome. Wow. Much love to Apostolic Fruit.
Thanks for being with us, Liv. Peace.
We hope you loved today's episode. If so, would you take a moment to share it with a friend?
If you haven't already, come connect with us human to human at apostolicfruit.com/connect. When you're ready, we'd love to support you more deeply.
May the Lord bless you and keep you. make his face shine upon you and be gracious to you.
and turn his face toward you and give you peace.